So 2026 has been incredibly busy, both for me personally as well as with Impressed. We're already into April. I think I've already logged over 3,000 miles driving, with more driving ahead for family things, personal fun things, going to comic cons, and then work driving, that kind of stuff too. So burning up the road again for several years in a row now, but I did have a small window to be able to meet up with Brian LCS. We had talked for a good while about meeting down at Galactic Comics in Florence, South Carolina. The place is huge. I actually saw it on Kirk's Comic Review and thought, man, I need to make a drive out there. Only catch is it's 3.5 hours from here, which means it's 3.5 hours back to here. But I had a single entire Saturday that was free, but I did have to get back by 9 o'clock because I was going to be on Big Five Live with Bond Comics that night. So that meant I had about 3.5 hours while I was there. So 3.5 there, 3.5 to spend there, 3.5 back, and then enough time to eat a sandwich and then jump on with Brandon. But in that time, I was able to take a tour of this place and hang out with Brian a little bit. When you first walk in the door, you've got the giant Hulk, you've got all these big things. Well, instead of me telling you, just check out this footage, and I'm going to speed it up because I think I did 3 or 4 minutes of just straight walking to get all the way around this place. So just look at all the books, all the toys, all of the there's a Transformer, there's a giant 3D printed USS flag of G.I. Joe that they made themselves, I assume. It wasn't a production piece or anything, but it was pretty cool to look at. It's just crazy how much they have crammed under the roof of this place. So yeah, that place, it might not have exactly what you're looking for, but there's a chance that they can get it for you. It looks like they've certainly got connections, and while we were there, they ended up bringing in a big group of G.I. Joe things that they had just bought, a big stack of it. So they're adding to their inventory and changing the inventory almost daily, it looked like. But walking through, I wasn't looking for anything in particular that's not true. I'm always looking for Robbie Reyes #1, Ghost Rider #1 of Robbie Reyes with him standing on top of the Dodge Charger. That's the variant I'm always looking for. I know I can go to eBay and get it for less than $10 and that kind of thing, but I'm really wanting to find it in the wild. Just a lot more fun. It's a fun game to play every place that I go, so it's always just a hunt until I find it, and then I'll add, the next book will be up there, But I went through, I always look for Transformers, any of the 80s Marvel Transformers, Marvel Star Wars books from the 80s, Marvel G.I. Joe from the 80s. those are the things, especially if it's in really, really good shape. Even if I've already got a bunch, I'm going to go ahead and get it already if it's not too expensive. But I went through, and when I made it back to the Transformers group, I was a little bit surprised. It's the first time I've ever come across something like this. I went through, and they had a big run of 80s Light of Duplicate, but 90% of these books are all signed by Jim Shooter. Every single one. Now, they're all priced. I think the cheapest one was $15, and I believe there might have been one that was in maybe a $30 range or something. I don't, but $15 and $20 is what most everything was, which I would have loved to have gotten one of each of them if could have made a bulk deal, but not at that much. But check out this run. I mean, it was just one after the other, and I just couldn't stop smiling when I saw it. I thought it was just really, really cool to see that many Jim Shooter signed books all just sitting in the same place. And this is just like in the regular back issue bin, I should say. So we haven't even gotten to the autograph book section. So as you walk around to the other side of that aisle, they've got all of these boxes that are laid up, and every one of these boxes that are in this camera pan here, they're all autograph books. So it's just wild how much they have. I walked over to the wall and checked out what was up there. They had a cool run of Mark Jeweller's variants of the G.I. Joe stuff, which was neat. It was, mid-grade type stuff, not anything in the price range I wanted to look at for those grades, but really cool to see them there all together nonetheless, though. But what I did go through, let's see, I was just walking through and just decided, okay, let's just hit the greatest hits. Let's, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Let's see what we can come up with, and walk through. The first thing that I came up with was a Marvel Star Wars book. How about that? So for $6, it's a black cover. It's not beat up. The color breaks are very, very minimum, and I needed it for my run, so that's pretty cool. Again, always Star Wars, 80s Marvels, G.I. Joe as well. Try to find this. If I find it in a newsstand and it's not beat up bad, I usually grab this one all the time too. You could get pretty lucky if you find the right buyer, if you can get a 9/8 of this in a newsstand, which is great. This is not a 9/8. This was $6, and it was $6 for a reason. But it'll still clean up good, and it's probably going to be a little better than the one I already have. So, but for $6, I was taking a shot. Now this next book is trashed. There's not anything good on this book, so why did I buy it? It's got water damage. That's not why I bought it. It's got physical damage, but that's not why I bought it. I bought it because it was $4, and it's Transformers number 75. So anything from this Transformers number 70 to number 80, those are the ones that are the shortest print runs, and they're really hard to find. And this was a newsstand. This one, like, I can make, it looks decent on camera, it's not decent at all. Trust me, it is. I'm staring at it right now. It doesn't look that good in person. Anyway, I'm always looking for these. So if you ever run across number 70 to number 80 of Transformers Marvel series, and it's not something you're looking for, then let me know where it's at. If it's a decent price, I'd like to get it even if I have it. I'm definitely not opposed to duplicates. Everybody who knows me knows that. What they had the room broken down at Galactic Comics was you could have cover price books. There was just giant rows and rows of cover price books, which is awesome. That you find an 80s book, you're going to be paying 75 cents for it. You find a 60s book, you'd be paying 20 cents for it if you found one that was still in there. And there were thousands and thousands and thousands of these books. I mean, the downfall to that is if you find a Transformers IDW book that was, $3.99 and should be $1 book, you're gonna pay $3.99 for it, which is whatever. You know what you're getting into when you get in. But there was a Transformers IDW book that was cover price. This was a marketing book. It was issue 0, and it was 99 cents. So that's the price that I want to pay for books that I don't own or books that I do own. One of the coolest groups that I did find, and that I didn't mind paying $3.99 a piece for. In the past, like a couple years ago. I don't remember exactly when it is. A lot of you know that I track and follow Livio Raimondelli, who's a Transformers artist. He's done tons of other things, but I'm always talking to him with Transformers and that kind of thing. Well, one of the series that he did was Transformers Primacy. I've heard it that way too, Primacy. But anyway, it's a 4-issue run, and it just so happens that they had number 1, number 2, number 3, but the most important one is number 4. And yeah, these bags and boards are crummy, so those will get changed out, trust me. But anyway, number 4, why is it the most important? It's the most important to me because the only piece of original art that I have came out of this book, and it is over here out of camera, so I'll just put a picture of it up here. But this is an original art piece that I got directly from Livio, and he sent me a couple of copies of this issue and signed them for me and that kind of thing too. But anytime, this is the first time I've ever found this book in the wild, so I couldn't resist, and I didn't have any of the rest of the series either, so I just decided to go ahead and grab all 4 of them. So that was an easy yes for me to purchase those. Next in our queue of things that I got out of that run of Jim Shooter, I did end up getting a Jim Shooter signed Transformers issue here. You can see right there past Optimus, this gun there, you can see where Jim signed it. Number 12. But then the cool one too was I found a Canadian price variant that was in there as well. I can get the glare off of it for you. And you can see Jim Shooter signed it just underneath the trade dress up there. Again, newsstand, both of these were newsstands. That was pretty cool. Of course, Canadian price variant's going to be a newsstand. They're not Mark Jewelers, but they do check those there, so it would have been a lot more price than than what I ended up paying for those. Oh, I forgot to show. So the Canadian price variant, that one was $20, and then the other one was only $15. That's more than these books are worth. The signature is cool, and if I went to Galactic Comics all the time, I probably wouldn't have gotten them, but I don't know when or if I'll ever be able to make it back down there again, so I like to have something specific that I can point directly to. I want all of the books that I get from now on to have a story of some sort. Whether I get it from a friend or I'm with a friend when I get it, it needs to be something that I didn't just buy off of eBay, and I didn't just buy it, rummaging through some random dollar bin by myself that I'm never going to remember, a couple months down the road where I got this book from. So I'm taking a lot of thought into any book that comes through the doors here of what kind of story does this book have? What's it going to tell? Am I going to remember it down the road? So that's why I've got every one of these. They all have a story. This next one has a story that I ain't too crazy about, but I got it anyway. When we got ready to leave, there was a box of books that the lady up front had said that, hey, you want to come over, and haven't put these out yet, so you want to look through them before anybody else does. I was like, well, sure. And that was where I got the G.I. Joe book, and they had the last book in the Carnage series. So I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And the book looked pretty good. I mean, not bad at all. But what I want you to look at though, you know what? I'm gonna put a bigger picture up here for you to check it out. I was a little distracted while we were up there, while I was flipping through. Don't get distracted when you're looking through books. Boxes of book especially, don't make split decisions. Just double check the prices on the stuff that you get. Because when I was rolling through this box of books, I saw the $5 price tag there in the middle of the book. Well, sorry, on the right hand side of the book. What I did not, I thought I was getting a good deal at $5, which was awesome. Newsstand, it's not too beat up. It can handle some work and be greatly improved. But what I didn't see was the $35 price tag at the top. So instead of getting a great deal, I overpaid. So don't let that happen to you. Public service announcement. I knew my total when I got up there was over $100, but then I was number one, I was hungry. I was on a time crunch. We needed to go grab some lunch. So I was just like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. That's good. And then I got home and looked at the receipt. I was like, what did I get that was $35? Yeah, that was it. So I'll be able to clean it up and fix it up. If I'm lucky, it might be in a 9.6 something or another, maybe 9.4. I don't know. We'll get it out and go through it and check it out and see what it looks like. But it will probably get sold one way or another. Anyway, that was the trip in Galactic Comics. I was able to go afterwards. Like I said, I was getting pretty hungry. I didn't eat before I left to go down there. So now it's 2 in the afternoon. I hadn't eaten yet today. I'm pretty hungry. So we stopped over and grabbed some food and hung out and talked to Brian for we probably talked for at least an hour, and it was really cool to get to catch up and talk to him. And the thing that I think Mike over at Lunch Money Comics last year sometimes said that this stopped being about comic books a long time ago, and it's about the people, and he's 100% right, because I wasn't going to dig through a whole bunch of books. That wasn't why I was going at all. The only reason I went was to go see my friend Brian. So it's always a good time to get to just hang out and get to experience the hobby with somebody else. There's a lot of times that we are working, we're all busy, we're all doing this, we're sending messages back and forth, but you still kind of feel like you're doing it on your own kind of thing, and it's just good to be in the building and in the same place with somebody else that has as much fun with it as you do. Just makes it so much more fun. But another thing I want to talk about or address here is there hasn't been a lot of YouTube videos out of this channel, and I've had people ask me, why haven't you been putting up more reels on Instagram of before and afters and stuff like that? Well, the funny thing is, I keep getting orders that are sent to me to work on that are the same books over and over and over. What do I mean by that? Since November, I've had 4 New Mutants 98 issues sent to me. I have had 4 New Mutants 87 sent to me. I've had 3 Amazing Spider-Man 300s. Everything coming in, I've had 2 of a bunch of different books that have come in. But I can't keep showing reels of the same title over and over, even if it is a different book with different repairs and that kind of stuff. I assume it would look like recycled footage to a lot of people, so I just never put that up. But I've been incredibly busy. Right now in the press, we have a Ghost Rider #1 from 1973. There is another New Mutants 98 is here. Another New Mutants 87 is here. So I told you 4 of those. That's going to be 5 of those actually now since November. Those are here. What is it? What else is here? Oh, we have a Mark Jewelers variant of the Spider-Man Hulk Punch. That one came in, and that one cleaned up pretty nice. I mean, it was never going to be a 9.8, but it was really cool to see that book. I've never had a Mark Jewelers variant of that in my hands before, so that was neat to see. And we've got, I've got stuff booked out through a lot of the rest of this year so far. So there are a lot of cool books in, and there's a lot of good stuff going out. I just hate to show you the same book over and over and over, even though I am somebody who loves duplicates. But anyway, that is why there has been a little bit of lag in videos. All the traveling certainly cuts into that. So as I'm recording this, I've got on the other side of the door back there is all the luggage, because it's another trip coming up tomorrow. So that'll take me out of commission for another week. But yeah, it's nonstop. Life is nonstop. It's great. There's been a lot of fun. If you haven't checked out the pinned Instagram post that is on Instagram, definitely go check it out. It's even if you don't like Spawn, it's a really cool post. I suggest you go check out for sure. But that is going to wrap it up for me on this video. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.